Hi, welcome to the Ignite IAP program for RIAs. As you may know, I'm Misty Bethany, Chief Compliance Officer with Ignite Funding, and I want to take some time this morning to introduce you to Preferred Trust Company. They are a self-directed IRA company that will be able to help you with any clients you have that want to invest through their retirement accounts. So I'm going to introduce you over to Chris Trembly, Director of Operations for Preferred Trust Company.
Thanks, Misty. And thank you all. We're really looking forward to working with Ignite Funding and their RIA program. As Misty mentioned, we are a retail trust company licensed in the state of Nevada. We specialize in self-directed IRAs. So our clients open accounts with us when they are interested in investing in products such as trust deeds with Ignite Funding. We wanted to say hello today, introduce ourselves, and go through some of the forms that you will be completing maybe with your client or having Preferred Trust Company complete with your client to open an actual IRA with Preferred Trust Company. It's important that they do know our name and who we are and what we do, because we will be speaking with them from time to time, and we take the role of custodying those assets which they are purchasing through their self-directed IRA. It's also very important in the beginning of the application process because we will be transferring funds from their current financial institution over to Preferred Trust Company. So I am going to introduce you to Tiffany Torres. Tiffany oversees our new accounts department. Her and her team will be helping you process the actual applications, making sure that everything is filled out completely so that we can move forward with opening an account with Preferred.
Hi, thank you, Chris. Again, my name is Tiffany. I oversee both the client service and the transfer department. I'm just going to go through some of the application that you're going to be completing with your clients, just so that we can go over and make sure we're hitting every section of it and what seems to come through sometimes incomplete or missing. That way you have a guide to go through and the process is as seamless as possible. So the application may be quite big at 24 pages. However, your client is only completing approximately 7 pages of that application. On page 1 of the section 1 is the vesting name. This section is very important for your client to complete. The example is directly underneath there. This section is the name that the investments will be titled, how they will be titled, and how the ownership of the account is. So it's always going to be Preferred Trust Company, LLC, FBO, the client's name, and then what type of IRA account they're going to have. So traditional, Roth, simple, or SEP. Section 2 is going to be all of their information. This is very important for your client to complete as we follow Bank Secrecy Acts and need to have all of this information to know our client. Please be sure they are completing their social security number, their date of birth, the email, as well as their address, which needs to be a physical address. It cannot be a PO box, and their driver's license or ID information. We do not require a copy of the driver's license with the initial application. We may later ask for a copy of it should we need it for further compliance. Section 3 is automatic contribution section. If your client would like to make an automatic contribution to their account directly out of their bank account, they would complete this section with all of their bank information and also provide a copy of a voided check. If your client does not wish to make automatic contributions at this point in time, they just skip over that section and leave it blank. Section 4 is going to be your beneficiary information. We do require a primary beneficiary. This can be a 100% share to one person or split between multiple beneficiaries. If it is split between multiple beneficiaries, the amount has to equal 100%. So if there are 3 beneficiaries, they cannot be 33% each. One of them will need to be 34, the other 2 33, or it could be 33.34, 33.33, 33.33. However you would like to split it, it just needs to equal 100%. You do have the optional list contingent beneficiaries here as well. Again, the share percent would need to equal 100%. a trust can be, or an estate can be listed as a beneficiary. We do require as much information as possible from those beneficiaries: social security number, date of birth, and then contact information, their address, phone number, email. It is important for us to have all of this information as well, again, for Bank Secrecy Act, as well as to be able to contact them in the case that the client does become deceased, and to verify they are in fact who was stated as the beneficiary originally on the application. Section 5 is the spousal consent. This part is very important as well, because this will designate whether the client is married or is not married. They do need to initial next to one of those options. The only time the spouse would need to sign is if the spouse is not listed as the beneficiary. If the spouse is 100% beneficiary, primary beneficiary, then they do not need to sign. Section 6 is also an important section. This is the section where you, as the RIA, will be listed. This section completed allows us to speak to you about the client's accounts, giving you account information, things like balances and transaction history. Without this section completed, we will not be able to talk to you. The next sections in between that are all of the disclosures, which do not need to be completed. The last section, 11 of the application, is the signature and the date. Please have the client sign as the IRA account owner and date the application. The next part of the application is the transfer or conversion form. This form is what we complete and will be able to provide to the current custodian requesting the funds to be transferred to preferred trust company. If your client is initiating a rollover or transfer via phone or the other custodian's internal documents, this form does not need to be completed. If preferred trust company will be requesting the transfer or rollover, this form should be completed. Again, section 1 is going to be the client's information. Again, it is important for them to complete all information in this section as it is going to their current custodian. Section 2 is going to be what type of account they are opening with preferred trust company. Section 3 will be the information for the current custodian. They will list out the custodian's name, the account number that they have at that current custodian, as well as the address and customer service phone number. Section 4 lists what type of account the account at the current custodian is to what it is transferring to at preferred trust company. For an example, if a client has a traditional IRA currently with their current custodian and they are opening a traditional account with preferred trust, they will select traditional IRA to traditional IRA. If they have a 401k or a 403b, they can select other and write 401k to traditional IRA. Section 5 is a very important section, and it is one of the ones that is commonly incomplete once we receive them. So there are 3 sections within this section. The first one being cash. The client does need to select an option here, whether they're moving the entire cash balance, a portion of the cash balance, and then what the portion will be, what the dollar amount is going to be, as well as the option to move the entire account and any assets in kind. The next section is for investments. If they have investments that they're moving over, they need to either select to have all investments sent in kind or send only the investments as described below, and there is a place for them to list specific investments if they are moving them over. If the client's funds are in a liquid cash position and they are not moving any assets over, they will select no investment liquidation required. If their funds are not in a cash position, they do need to select liquidate my funds and send cash proceeds. The last part of this section is delivery instructions, where they choose if they would like the funds sent via check or via wire. They do need to make a selection here. The last part of this form is going to be the signature and date. Section 6 is not applicable as transfers from qualified plans to qualified plans. There are no taxes or penalties. So the client will sign and date the form. We will sign as the custodian, and we will take care of the medallion stamps on those. The last part of the application is the pre-consent e-sign authorization form. This form allows clients to electronically sign documents in the future. This form is very easy to complete. It's the client's name, email address, and then on the second page, their signature, they print their name, and they date it. We do have to have the originals of all of these documents. You may email or fax the documents into us for review prior to sending the originals. We can review it and let you know if there's anything that needs to be corrected. And then once the originals are received, we can move forward with opening the account. Please feel free to contact us at any time with any questions. We're available to assist you through this process. The best number to contact us on is going to be the main client service number, and that's just so that no matter what, somebody's available to help you. If somebody's out of the office, someone else will be there. Phone number is 888-990-7892, option 1. There is one more form that is being completed right now, and I'm going to transfer it back over to Chris to discuss that form.
Thanks, Tiffany. The final form that we're going to review today is the monthly recurring investment expense form. Now, this is probably more important to you as the RIA because this is how you are going to receive your fee from Preferred Trust Company on behalf of the client's account for the investments that they're making with Ignite Funding. So on this form, general information, the top part of the form is filled out with all the client information, again, just like Tiffany mentioned, name, date of birth, all the pertinent information. We do want to bring your attention to section 3 where you actually put the payment information. Most of you are probably going to want to be paid via direct deposit, and we can absolutely facilitate that for you. However, we do need the banking information established for you all for the RIA. It's very important to remember Preferred Trust Company cannot pay an individual this fee, so it needs to be a company, the name of the company that is being represented. So you need to fill that out with the account number, routing number, and then please make sure the client signs and dates the form and indicates that it is for the trust deed notes that they've invested with Ignite Funding. Very important. Tiffany also wanted me to remind everyone that during the application process, in the section for the interested party designation, you are going to be completing that form or that portion of the form with the client so that they can make you as the RIA the interested party, but they will also be filling out an additional interested party form for Ignite Funding. That way the representative from Ignite Funding can also have access to the account to be able to assist the client in making their placements and choosing their investments. Very important, as we do need to be aware of available investment amounts for the client to be able to make their final purchases and investments. And again, as Tiffany mentioned, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are available Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and you can also email us if you're finding that it's easier to reach us via email. Our general email box is info, I-N-F-O, @PTC, like Paul, Tom, Charlie, email.com, and please feel free to reach out. Thanks so much for joining us today.